## title, Remembering Ocoee, the 1920 Massacre. The election day. In the early 20th century, Ocoee, Florida, was a town like many others in the South, divided by racial lines and simmering with tension. On November 2, 1920, the presidential election set the stage for a tragic and violent event. The streets are bustling with activity as the presidential election draws near. The scene opens with Mose Norman, an African-American farmer, standing in line at the polling station. Mose Norman, determinedly, "I'm here to cast my vote." Poll worker, dismissively, "You can't vote here, Norman, you haven't paid your poll tax." Mose Norman, frustrated, "I have the right to vote." Mose Norman, like many African Americans, faced systemic barriers to exercising his right to vote. He sought assistance from his friend July Perry. The confrontation. The setting is July Perry's home in the evening. The atmosphere is tense as Perry and Norman discuss their next steps. July Perry, calmly, "We'll try again, Mose. We cannot let them silence us." Suddenly, the sound of angry voices and footsteps is heard outside. A mob of armed white men approaches the house. Mob leader, shouting, "Come out, Perry! We know you're hiding Norman!" July, Perry, resolutely, "We have done nothing wrong." The mob breaks into the house, and a violent struggle ensues. Gunshots ring out, and chaos erupts. The confrontation turned deadly. 2 white men were killed, sparking a violent and devastating backlash. The Massacre. Fueled by anger and racial hatred, the mob unleashed a night of horror upon the African-American community of Ocoee. Flames engulfed houses, and terrified families ran for their lives. The screams of men, women, and children filled the air. Victim 1, crying out, "Please spare us," mob member, spitefully, "Burn it all, leave nothing standing." The mob burned homes, churches, and schools to the ground. Many African-American residents were killed, and those who survived fled, leaving everything behind. The aftermath. By the morning, the African-American community in Ocoee was effectively erased. The survivors were forced to abandon their properties and livelihoods, and the town remained all white for decades. Teacher, holding a book. The Ocoee Massacre is a painful chapter in our history that we must remember and learn from. It reminds us of the importance of standing against hate and fighting for justice. Student, thoughtfully, if we remember, we can ensure it never happens again. The Ocoee Massacre is a stark reminder of the racial violence faced by African Americans in their struggle for civil rights. By remembering and honoring the victims, we commit ourselves to building a more just and equitable society. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you.